wanted, but you had some competitive moments within those games. It was pretty close at times, and it seemed like just a few points here and there that just kind of got away from you guys a little bit. But something we talked about the previous week was you guys have been through a lot over the season. You guys are without some of your key players, and you're having to mix and match a lot of different guys that maybe you didn't see having prominent roles during the season, but now that they are. And so what I want to highlight is you guys have been able to really be adjustable, flexible, and just kind of what does that tell you about your group in terms of how they compete?
Yeah, this is a really good learning environment for us where our underclassmen, our freshmen and sophomores, are put into situations where they have to thrive or survive. And although, like you mentioned, the outcomes are not what we wanted from the matches, the fact that we're starting what is now a very young core and roster means they're getting that exposure, they're getting that experience. And even though we're having to play through adversity with, like you mentioned, rotational switches, positional adjustments, different alignments based on our side of the net as far as movement, and then also the other side as far as what they do, we're learning. And that's part of the curve that, is part of this college dynamic where sometimes it looks really good and you're seeing big progress, and sometimes we're forgetting some things along the way. But that optimism is still there from a program perspective, and we appreciate the guys just being able to put their heads down, move forwards, and understanding that long term, this is going to really shine when they get through these difficult moments.
Yeah, exactly. And, there's something that we touched a lot about last year with your core being so young. And even though that core is a little bit older now, you're now having to deal with a new core.
Yeah.
And having to put them in these similar situations. And with now you guys having to go into the second half of conference, you still have to play, some pretty good teams. You still have Aurora, MSOE, right? But, you still have a back half of conference that is still very winnable and still very achievable, right? And so, obviously, that you're getting into that must-win territory here, but how do you get into a mode with the guys and where you don't make that moment too big, or you don't put that much pressure to be able to go out and get it done, even though you know what has to be done?
We have a lot of guys who work their tails off, who have really high expectations for themselves and really want to achieve really high levels on the court, whether it's individualized, group achievements. They had those goals, and those still stand true. So it's just making sure from our coach's perspective and our program perspective that the maturity of how we approach it and the realistic idea of how to go about that are achieved. So making sure we're paying just hyper focus into our scouting reports, understanding that now that we're in the middle of that busy season with school and conference play, that we're taking care of ourselves better. I know that sounds simple from a student-athlete perspective of just getting the right sleep, eating correctly, but all of those things are going to add up and be really important so that we can put our best foot forward when we play teams that, like you mentioned, are very competitive, but there's games where if we play at our best, good things are going to happen.
Right.
And the big thing we've been preaching with them as a unit is that the process right now is more important than the final result. Because we know that if we are just going about things the right way, if we're improving, keeping our heads down, believing in the process, that the results will happen. But if we get caught up in the moment, in the now, that's when we start to see some hesitation or some falter. And although we're seeing it at times during some of these critical moments, that exposure and opportunity now is going to allow us to find success down the road. So just making sure we keep that positive mindset, recognizing that pressure is a privilege, and understanding that dynamic so that going forwards, we've been there, we've done that, and we know how to really just grab onto those better results.
Yeah, of course, and that's one thing that kind of is vital to understand, is just being able to not get into a space where the what ifs, what if this, what if that, what if all these things happen. Just kind of go, just trust what you said, trust the process, trust in your work, trust in the ability that you have, and just let it be, right? And so you guys have an opportunity now on Friday with Lakeland coming in, and you guys have been very successful against Lakeland the past few years. It's been 5 straight years you guys have won against them, including last year. And so knowing that you'll be at home with the crowd and understanding that it is a big game on both sides, especially with the Naxanis right now. But as I mentioned before, just not making the moment too big, right? Just what kind of message you want to get to the guys in terms of not just necessarily what they need to approach it as, but just going out there just being who they are?
You know, it's really neat where even yesterday we had the president of the university, almost the entire board, as far as just the higher ups and admin here, and seeing just that amount of support is really inspiring because you don't see that everywhere. So we have the support net, we have the fan base, we have the game day environment, and it's just for us recognizing how do we leverage this to our strengths, right? How do we allow this to propel us forwards? How do we use this as positive momentum, and also, like you mentioned, not get too caught up in it, right? We don't need to fear that functionality, that intentionality. Like, we need to use it as leverage and continue moving forward. So we have it better than a lot of people, I'll say that, and we just need to make sure we recognize that and utilize that in the right direction.
Yeah, of course, and we're all very excited to see what you guys do this weekend against Lakeland, as that game will be played here at CUC on Friday. And for more coverage on that, go to cucougars.com. My name is Al Mateo. Once again, joined by Coach Greg Manos. And as always, go Cougars.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
What's going on, Cougar fans? We join you live here in Geisman Gymnasium for some NAC play. Two teams struggling a little bit so far this season, trying to find a way in these last 2 weeks to punch their ticket into that conference tournament. We're going to have Concordia Chicago taking on the Lakeland Muskies. I'm joined by Elliot Higgins. Elliot, how's it going?
Good. Just happy to be here in Geisman Gym. Excited to watch some good volleyball.
Absolutely. Some important things of note. Two very similar records so far this year in conference play, as Concordia Chicago 2-5 and Lakeland 3-5. But when looking at the matchups as of late, Concordia has dominated it. It doesn't matter if it was on the road or here in Geisman Gymnasium. CUC's won the last 5, hasn't lost one since 2019. So we'll see what they got in store for us today. As there's the first point of the day for the Cougars right there. Going to be credited to Leon Godzowski. Who else but to serve things away for the Cougars? Little miscommunication right there. Just gonna have to send a free ball over. Mosher setting up Ford. No touch there. Just a misplay right there for Ford. The Muskies will knot things back up at 1 apiece. Davis Troller to send it away for the Muskies. Up and over. Good play by Cardenas. Mosher over to the near side. That one's out of play as well. It's going to be a misplay on Tyrese Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong looking for a touch there at the net, but the refs didn't grant it to him.
A little close to the net right there. Mosher looking so good as usual, setting up the middle right there, and Ford makes him pay. It's going to be a tough battle for the Muskies at the net if they're going to leave Ford wide open on some of those ones. Kevin are unable to flag that one down. Mosher setting up Armstrong. Little tapper right there, and that'll do the trick. Schultz caught off guard on that one. That's the freshman libero. Armstrong getting into his rhythm right here. He'll serve it away. Nice topper. Free ball coming over from Jean. Armstrong to Mosher. Kamenar denied at the net, but he's going to get another shot. Another tapper, beautifully played. Jean tries to play a tapper of his own, but is denied at the net.
One thing you can kind of tell is there's a lot of energy on both sides of the court right here. With the loss, both teams just all but fall out of NAC contention for the tournament. So very big matchup for both teams here.
Absolutely, Elliot. That's one thing that we can expect to see all day is a lot of emotion. As there's one of those awkward ones right off the net. Cougars will take full advantage of it right there. Looked like it caught Donahue off guard. One of those that there's not really too much you can do on that. Off some of the banners right there, and they're going to have to send another free ball over. Ford with a big swing right there, but it's sent right back over. Kamenar denied at the net. Let's see if the third time's a charm, and Ford will get it done right there.
It's a little ball don't lie right there. The off the libero, off the basketball hoop, off the banner, they were able to get it back and get it back over the net, but Cougars still come out with the point.
I don't know if that's able to be seen on the stream, but in Geisman Gymnasium, there's a list of banners for all the teams in the NAC. Couldn't quite tell if that one picked up on Rockford or the MSOE Raiders. Kamenar, good swing right there, but it's picked up by Schultz. Back row attack for Weinrich. Johnson, good swing. They're going to have to just send over another one. Mosher trying to slam that one home. That one's off Kamenar's head top, and it's going to go out of play. A little momentum right there for the Muskies. Not only do they get a head top point, bench also picks up the ball for a little celebration of their own. Puchinski, Armstrong putting that one in a very difficult spot for Mosher, and Donahue will make them pay right there. Just one of those free points right there for Donahue.
Yeah, last time we saw a ball up at the net like that, he didn't go up, and he made the adjustment and was able to get the point for his team right there.
Another one really close to the net, but Mosher's able to get the best out of him right there. Nobody picked him up to try and meet him at the net. He just takes full advantage of that. Jean trying to play it off. Unable to get it done though. And Ford will continue. Ford right off the net right there. You know, they say the net giveth and taketh. Right now it's doing a whole lot of giving for the Cougars right now. Cougars receiving a few freebies on that, just right off the top of the net. Lakeland's gonna take their first timeout of the contest. We're gonna do the same. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the CUC Sports Network. CUC commanding a 9-5 lead. Lakeland Muskies just burned their first timeout. We'll see if it's a productive one. A little bit of chaos on the Cougar side. Good swing, and it's dotted right on the edge right there for Donahue. Donahue adding to his numbers right there. That's his fourth kill of the day. 4 for 5 on swings. Right at that 80% hit mark. Nice float right there. Johnson going for a good swing, able to keep it up right there. Kamenar. Armstrong. Mosher a little bit behind Kamenar right there. Good swing by Zhang right over the edge right there to pick up the point. So a productive timeout indeed. As Lakeland will try to get things going right here. Chasing 2 at the moment. Cougars looking to win that race to 10 with a side out. And they'll do just that right there. Mosher sends it over. Good swing right there by Davis Troller, but unable to keep it in.
Looks like the Muskies are really trying to attack the back corners of the court, and Concordia is kind of leaving them open a little bit. interested to see if they continue to do that and to see if CUC makes the adjustment.
Absolutely. Jean gets denied at the net right there. Yeah, we'll see. Right now, kind of what we're, if at least from our perspective, Cougars are kind of leaving those gaps open, just refusing to give up the middle and saying, if you hit your spot, you kind of earn that point, and I'm okay with that one. There's a good kill by Weinrich. And Jean will retreat to the service line. Setting up Armstrong. One of those plays that the Cougars love going to right there, just kind of seeing a wide spread of people running towards the net. And the last one coming up takes a big, strong swing right there.
And that's Armstrong's second kill of the day. Towards the beginning of the season, we didn't see him play all too much, and then he had a couple of games, and he's turned into an everyday starter now.
Absolutely. There's a good swing right there for Johnson. One of the main things that we kind of talk about so far that we've been seeing for the CUC team so far this year is how they've been able to handle adversity overall. I mean, you kind of come into the season, you expected to see a lot of players that performed well last season make strides again this year, but obviously injuries happen, and that's kind of one of the things that the Cougars have had to deal with so far this year, but they've made the most out of it. As there's a big swing right there for Armstrong. He's feeling it a little bit right there. Puchinski denied right there. Weinrich will go up. Just kind of mishandled that one, trying to go for a tip play. Cougars looking very comfortable to start this match in set number one. As there's another one for the net right there. Cougars being exponentially rewarded right now by that net. Cougars up 17-8. Lakeland's gonna burn their final timeout of set number one. Elliot, obviously right now, I think one of the things we're seeing, Cougars dominating on all sides right now. What do you think this set kind of does to set up the rest of the match for both sides?
Yeah, it just creates great momentum for the Cougars. They go up 17-8. When you dominate the first set, it's kind of hard to come back as the other team and say, like, yeah, we got this. And one thing we've kind of seen from the Cougars so far that is really good is we have seen 0 serving errors. And that is one thing the Cougars have struggled with a little bit this season. So if they can continue that, I think they'll be in a really good spot for this match.
Absolutely. And then on the other side for Lakeland, they're kind of in a similar spot where they're not making too many mistakes, at least at the service line. What do you think they need to do in order to kind of turn things around? And obviously this set is in a very difficult spot to come back from, but for the rest of the match?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, if you're Lakeland right now, you've had a few unlucky points at the net, a few serves that have hit the net and you can't get to them. They're getting some good swings up. So, I think they just need to stay consistent, keep faith, and continue to do what they're doing.
Absolutely. They just got to trust that process right now. Obviously, things are going a little not in their favor right now, but can't expect it to be always sunshine and roses when you're playing the game. So both teams come out of their respective huddles. Caminaro will serve it away. Schultz steps in front of that one. Setting up Weinrich. Plays it right off the blockers, and they'll take that point right there. Mosher setting up Johnson, but he's denied at the net right there. It's Davis Stroller.
That one got the bench a little fired up. The Muskies need to look to continue this momentum and try and claw back into this set.
Absolutely. It's just a little bit of home court advantage, I think, is what we're seeing right now between that net. I mean, it's truly been blessing the Cougars all day so far. Could be a 5-point swing if some of those points go the other way. Guzovsky. A little bit too arm side right there. He'll check out with Cardenas coming back in.
I think that's a little case of the announcer's jinx right there.
It's good for them to get that out of the way now, though, before in later sets when it's a little bit closer contest. So the Muskies will make their first substitution of the day. It'll be Joe Bagansky. Ford mistimed that jump just a wee bit right there. Mosher setting up Johnson. Johnson just finds a way to keep it up. We'll send one over. Weinrich going for a little push right there. Back to Johnson yet again. Another weird one for the net right there. The Cougars will collect. Third time was the charm there again for Johnson. Had 3 swings on that play. And right now, one of the things you're seeing is the Cougars' consistency overall, just that kind of determination and unwillingness to go down. And I think that's what's kind of been carrying him so far in this set. There's a nice little topper. Weinrich sending it up front. Nice swing right there for Puchinski. Chase Anderson will retreat. It'll be his serve. Cardenas with a solid platform. Mosher setting up forward. And there's another swing for Puchinski, but he's denied on that one. Schultz looked to be caught a little flat-footed right there. Comes up limping just a tad, but he doesn't look too shaken up. Just a tiny grimace.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward fall right there, trying to chase down that last ball.
Cougars up 20-12 now. Just 5 more points to take this first set in a little bit of dominating fashion, to say the least. Armstrong, a little too much hot sauce on that one. It'll be another service ace for the Cougars. They've kept it very minimal so far in this set, though. Puchinski. Mosher sending it over to Armstrong. Beautiful tip right there from Armstrong. Armstrong really has grown as a hitter overall. You've kind of been seeing it all year long. We obviously knew about the howitzer that he's got on his right for a right arm, but the tappers that he's been able to kind of show off have been a huge difference maker as he gets caught flat-footed a little bit there. Jacob Donahue looking to go on a little bit of a run right here, put the Muskies back into the contest. Mosher over to Kamenar. Puchinski gets in front of that one. Wow, go up and get it right there, Davis Troller. Mosher setting up Godzowski. Little pinball action right there on the Muskies side of things. Cougars will take full advantage right there. Mosher with the float. Setting up Weinrich. Cardenas will set up Johnson. Beautiful spot right there for Johnson. Johnson's also another player who's looked pretty comfortable so far today. Pretty high in volume on his swings, but he's not making too many mistakes. Zhang gets in the title right there. That's a good swing right there for him. He's one of those players that the Muskies are going to need to start getting going a little bit if they want to have a productive day at Geisman Gymnasium. So there's a misplay right there for Kamenar. Weinrich, good swing, but Mosher's able to keep it up. They're going to send a free ball over, courtesy of Cardenas. And there's another strong swing for Davis Troller. Can't be surprised if Coach Manos is going to start thinking about taking a timeout relatively soon. Last thing you want is this to get out of hand in a game that felt like an auto win a few points ago. Zhang, another one with a lot of juice. Denied right there. Davis Troller getting benefit of a touch. A little disagreement between the line judge and the tower judge. And there's that timeout we were expecting right there from Coach Manos. So that'll be Coach Manos' first timeout for the Cougars. Muskie's already out of timeouts. Little different story, Elliot, from what we saw last time there was a timeout called, excuse me. What are you thinking right now? 5-point game. It's still pretty comfortable for the Cougars, but you can kind of feel those Muskies creeping up on you. What's the message right now if you're Coach Manos in that huddle?
Yeah, I think Coach Manos is probably telling him to slow the game down a little bit. Just receive the serve real nice. Try and get a good swing off. That's all you can do. That's all you can ask for. And hopefully you get the point. Then you can go take the serve and try and finish off the set.
Absolutely. I think the main thing too is just remember the message. Relay that message that was given to the players in the pregame. Whatever that might have been, it worked. It got you this far into the contest. Just play a little smooth. No need to be riding that wave of the ups and downs. Try to stay a little bit more even keel. Just relax, stay smooth out there. What you're doing's working. Just keep going right at them. They're going to make their own mistakes. We'll see if that Manos timeout was productive here. They say Zhang will send it away. A little bit of tail on that one. The Cougars will pick up the free point right there. Cougars just need one to win this first set of the night. It's going to be Tristan Kaminar. Schultz steps in front of that one. Davis Troller trying to make a play on that one. Mosher setting up Armstrong, a little tapper. Davis Troller again, excuse me. Godzowski, beautiful play right there. Showing off the hang time. Cougars will take set one. Not quite the dominating fashion that we expected, but 25-18 nonetheless. 3-minute intermission in between these two sets. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the Cougars Sports Network. Cougars taking on those Lakeland Muskies. Concordia Chicago won that first set. Pretty comfortable fashion, right? 25-18. Muskies obviously not content with the way that set went as they jump out right in front, 1-0. It'll be Chase Anderson. Mosher over to Armstrong. Zhang. Mosher. Cardenas will set up Johnson. That one's denied. Mosher setting up the middle. Gadzowski just a little too poor on that angle right there. Cardenas putting that one right on the money. Armstrong, good swing. Schultz will try to set it up. A little too close to the net.
Yeah, he went up to try and tool the block right there. Unfortunately, no block went up for it. So there was nobody to tool it off of.
Yeah, Puchinski going for the hero play right there, unable to get anything. Gadzowski now to the service line. Up and over. Puchinski's setting up Zhang. Mosher to Johnson, and that one's denied right there. Davis Troller in on it again. That's a dominating serve right there for Puchinski. Lakeland jumping out to a 4-1 lead in this one. Another strong serve right there. Mosher setting up Armstrong as that one's denied. Ford putting that one tight on the net for Mosher. Good swing by Armstrong. Schultz will try to set someone up, but nobody's home, so Jean will send a free ball. Mosher setting up Ford. Nobody able to get up with the big man right there. So the Cougars will pick that one up. Beautiful swing right there for Johnson. Excuse me, beautiful serve. He'll pick up the ace right there. So that one went off that softball conference banner on the far side. Johnson trying to tie things back up at 4 apiece. Little bit too much on that one. About half a ball off that back line.
Only the third service error we've seen out of the Cougars today, so they're doing a pretty good job minimizing the mistakes on that end.
Kamenar, good swing right there. Cougars get it right back. Puchinski looking to beg for a back row attack right there, but Kamenar stepping up right to the 10-foot line before jumping. Perfectly ran play right there for the Cougars. Setting up Jean. Right into the blockers of Kamenar and Ford. Johnson timing up that swing, but unable to do what he's looking for right there. That one well short of going over. John looking to add to that 7-4 lead. That one just into the top of the net right there. Set up right there. Strong swing for Donahue. going for a little tapper. Beautiful pancake right there for Cardenas. Donahue unable to put it where he wants right there. Cougars will pick up the point. Cutting that lead back to 2.
Right now, both teams are really favoring the middles. On the Muskie side, so far 9 of 16 kills have come from the middles, and on the CUC side, so far 6 of 15 kills have come from the middle. So both teams are really trying to attack the middle of the court, looking to see which team makes the adjustment first and gets a better block to the middle.
Absolutely, and I think the main reason why they're getting so many kills from the middle is just there's nobody stepping up to kind of defend that portion of the court right there. Therefore, the Mills are able to get that ace swing off uncontested, and that's just a really hard ball to defend at that point. The up ref blows that one. Calling a lift right there on the Muskies. Coach Rushmer having a little conversation with the down ref about that one. You can tell he clearly wanted that one to keep going, but Cougars will take advantage of that. Anderson setting up Davis Trolley. That'll be a free ball sent over. Anderson setting up Puchinski. Nobody able to get to that between Cardenas and Kamenar. Kind of a trend we're seeing so far in this set is every time the Cougars start getting right back into it and the Muskies see them in that rear view mirror, they keep trying to pull away. Body's hitting the floor right there. And Puchinski sends that one right into Johnson.
One thing we can definitely tell from both sides of the court is that these players know that if they lose this game, the conference tournament isn't so likely. So we've seen a lot of bodies hitting the floor. Everybody's flying around the court. Both teams are putting their best game out there.
Puchinski having himself a set, to say the least. Really on a heater right now. You wonder if Coach Manos is ready to burn a timeout just to cool that man off on his own, let alone the entire Muskies 6 they got on the court. But they get a little lucky right there with a miscue on that serve from Anderson. It'll be Gadzowski. A side spinner misplayed right there into the net. Muskies back to up 5. It'll be who else but Puchinski to try and lengthen that lead out a little bit. Johnson, little tapper. Anderson setting up Zhang. Beautiful swing from the southpaw right there. That one out of play right there from Puchinski. John going for a little tapper. They're going to get the Cougars in the net on that one, unfortunately. That one blown dead prematurely. Setting up Johnson. He goes for a little tapper. Cardenas able to save that one. Ford will set up Armstrong. Body's hitting the floor. Whole lot of chaos on both sides at the moment. Setting up Armstrong, trying to go for the kill, but it's denied. Kamenar going for a relatively smooth swing right there I mean, just a whole lot of chaos right there. We got players jumping into the stands, bodies hitting the floor, everything across the board on that point right there. That's all it takes for the Cougars to pick up the point. Cougars trailing by 5. Coach Rushmer having a conversation with Anderson, who's setter. Armstrong trying to get back into it for the Cougars. Jean with another strong swing right there. Using the blockers his advantage a little bit right there.
Zhang starting to heat up a little bit in the second set. Look for the Muskies to continue to try and get them heated up and continue to get some more kills for them.
Absolutely, but he picks up another service error on that one. And the good thing for the Cougars now is Puchinski and Zhang are both in that backcourt. So now's the chance for the Cougars to kind of go on a little bit of a run. There's a strong swing right there for Weinrich. Mosher to Cardina. Excuse me, Kamenar. That one's out of play. Cougars get it back to within 5. Eli Mosher, the senior, will try to get things going again with that float. Anderson setting up Zhang. Cardenas setting up Johnson. Good swing right there, and Johnson will take care of that one.
Cougars trying to looking to ride Mosher's serve here and bring this one back to a close match and put yourself in striking distance.
Absolutely. Anderson setting up Puchinski. Cougars going for another one of those pancakes. Unable to get it on that one. Johnson denied right there. Armstrong pops it back up. Mosher will go back to him. And that one's picked up by Weinrich. Anderson's trying to get Puchinski. Anderson giving that one right to Davis Troller, right in the money spot.
The Muskies are really flowing right now. They're getting some really good swings off, and Coach Manis is going to call a timeout to try and cool them down.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Manis is going to take a timeout to talk to his team. We're going to do the same. Don't in just a minute here on the Cougar Sports Network. Kamenar trying to put a good swing on that one. Right on the line right there. Much needed point for the Cougars.
Successful timeout from Coach Manos right there.
Anderson with a poor set attempt right there, but there are no issues on that one as Puchinski's denied right there. Zhang tries to get on there. And Anderson dives for that one just shy of the bleachers. Anderson setting up Davis Troller. That one takes a banner from Armstrong. Anderson trying to go for his own, but unable to do so. Gudzowski is able to get in on the kills right there.
Some really good defense by the Cougars right there to stick with it when the ball basically gets stuck inside of the banner, and able to get the ball over, keep the point alive, and ended up coming out with the kill.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the banners so far today have been in on just as many points as several players so far, so they're definitely doing their part so far today. Cougars now within 3, trailing 19-16. Coach Manos trying to give it to his team, find a way to get back into the contest. Lakeland a little different story. Got to stay comfortable, got to find a way to close this one out, knot things up at 1 apiece. Elliot, right now, what are you thinking as far as between both sides? What do they got to do in order to kind of close the set out?
Yeah, I think for the Cougars, it's the same message as earlier. Just continue to get the serves in play, give themselves a chance to get a rally and play your game, try and get some points on the board. And then for Lakeland, just continue playing how you have this set. Stay consistent, and if they're able to stay consistent in what they're doing, they should be able to come out with this set.
Absolutely. Both teams head onto the court. It'll be Kamenar with the Cougars sending it away. Anderson setting up Davis Troller, but that one's denied at the net right there from Armstrong. That's a big tone setter right there late in this set. Lakeland comes out, they go to their design play that they're looking to run, and Armstrong denies that one immediately.
Yeah, Muskie tried to run a slide right there, and Armstrong had sniffed it out the whole way and was able to get there.
Muskies go back to their next play, trying to get Puchinski involved from behind, and he gets denied all the same. Zhang going for a swing. Cougars unable to go for 3 right there, so Muskies will pick one up. Anderson up and over. Mosher setting up Gudzowski, but that one's denied. Armstrong won't be denied, though, as there's another big swing for the Cougars, bringing them to within 1. I mean, if the Muskies find a way to lose this set, it would truly be a devastating backbreaker for them. And it's one of those things that would catapult all the momentum in the world for the Cougars. As there's a big serve right there for Gudzowski. 4 denied at the net. Weiner trying to set up Zhang. Kamenar will do the setting on that one. Zhang. That one is denied. Excuse me, that one's a good swing right there. Able to use the blockers to his advantage. Putting them back up 2. It'll be Puchinski, the server. Gonna need some quality receptions on this one. A little discussion between the Cougars and that up ref. Just off the top of the net right there. Mosher setting up Armstrong. That one's denied right there by Davis Troller. That gets the Muskies out of their seats right there. Armstrong still frustrated about that one. Ball's coming. Cougars completely out of position on that one, but they're able to figure it out. Armstrong kind of explaining his piece to the ref right there. Fortunately, he's not the captain in that situation, so it's causing a lot of chaos right now. Cougar captain Eli Mosher looking for the explanation as both teams retreat to their respective huddles. A lot of emotions right now in this kind of game. Obviously, both teams are aware of what's riding on this match. Naturally, you assume the refs are aware as well. You know, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So naturally, when you have a lot of frustrations, a lot of emotions boiling, you can kind of see the explosions. That's kind of what we were seeing right now in set 2. Armstrong doesn't agree with a call or two, and is just kind of trying to explain his piece in that situation. And naturally, the official wants to keep going about the game. Cougars are going to have to find a way to kind of control those emotions, get back to that even keel that we talked about earlier, Elliot. Right now, they're kind of all over the place with that, kind of causing a little bit of a distraction, I would say.
Yeah, in a game with as much importance as this one, it's hard to not let the emotions take control, but you do need to have checks and balances and be able to keep them somewhat under control, because you do, at the end of the day, have a game to win.
Absolutely. Puchinski, too much juice on that one. Cougars will take the 3-1 right there. It'll be Tate Johnson serve it away. Right now, the Cougars have been performing pretty well at the service line. Going to need a little bit of a run right here for Johnson. That one's a good one. Anderson over to Zhang. That one's denied, but kept up by Puchinski. Zhang going for another one, a tapper. Mosher stepped in front of Cardenas, so he'll set it. Davis Troller. Johnson from the back row, and that one's played very well. Blockers unable to execute on that one. Cougars cut it back to within 2. Johnson puts that one into the net. Backs against the wall now for the Cougars, down 24-21. Muskie's looking for their final point of the set. Mosher over to Ford, and that one's beautifully swung right there. So Muskie's gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. Armstrong will retreat to the line, and he's gonna need to go on a little bit of a stretch run right here if they want to keep this set going. Good serve right there. Weinrich denied. Schultz dives on the ground. It's going to be Zhang sending a little tapper. Cardenas setting up Kamenar. And that one played off the blockers, going all the way across the court. The Cougars will pick up the point now within 1. Muskies are going to take a timeout now. Muskies take their timeout. We're going to take a quick break as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute here on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. We got a tight set 2. Muskie's up 24-23. It's going to be Armstrong here right off the top of the net, keeping it in. Anderson setting up Zhang. He gets his ace swing off, and that's going to be all she wrote here in set 2. Strong set right there for the Muskies. Got a little interesting at the end, but they'll take the set nonetheless. We'll take an intermission in between these sets. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes to see the rubber match. All here, all on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Sets knotted up 1 each as Lakeland took a win in that second set. While it was a close contest, 25-23, there weren't any lead changes or ties throughout that one, so Lakeland jumped out early and never looked back. Cougars looking to do something similar in this set as they jump out 1-0. That won't be the case though, as that already more ties in this set than there were in all of last set. Kuczynski up and over. Mosher setting up Johnson. That one's right on the line.
Yeah, Cougars trying to look for a nice bounce back set after losing the last one, 25-23. They got Tate Johnson here at the line to try and extend their lead.
As Johnson sends that one near the charge circle of the basketball court. As Donahue just off the top of the net. Kuczynski setting up. Ford with a good swing right there. Weinrich just pushes that one over. Mosher running that one down. Armstrong sends that one over. Weinrich making a good play right there. Zhang with a strong swing. Mosher over to Johnson. Johnson denied by Weinrich. And he shows off some emotion right there. That's a big play at the net right there for Weinrich. Mosher going for a dump, unable to get it. Wins the second time though. Davis Troller unable to deny it twice.
A little back and forth between the benches here. The energy's starting to build, and this one looks like it would be pretty energetic down to the stretch.
Good serve right there from Armstrong. Zhang trying to make a tool right there, unable to do so. Set right back at him, matter of fact.
I think one adjustment the Cougars made for this third set is it looks like they're trying to get a much better block to Zhang this set, because last set Zhang had quite a few kills, and they're basically saying we're not going to let this guy beat us this set.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's not going to be how it's going right now as Zhang wins that one. Kind of heard you talking there, Elliot, saying, matter of fact, maybe I will beat him this set. Kamenar a little bit behind him on that set. Anderson sets up Davis Troller. Poor reception right there, but Mosher's able to make the most out of it. Anderson sets up Davis Troller. One hand set from Mosher. Kuczynski trying to make a play right there, but it's denied at the net by Ford. Looked like Ford might have gotten a piece of the net right there, but I'm gonna call it clean.
Yeah. Anderson over there talking to the up ref, probably asking for clarification, but
I believe Anderson's asking about a player or an action earlier in the play, thinking that there was a lift earlier on, but just getting an explanation, not really trying to fight it too much. John denied right there. That one's out of play. Mosher over to Kamenar. Weinrich, awkward reception right there. Muskie's really never had a clear handle on that one during that possession. Mosher trying to add to this 1-point lead for the Cougars. Anderson trying to set up Zhang, but unable to do it. And that one's just misplayed right there for Zhang.
Yeah, Zhang trying to send the free ball over and just sends it out of bounds right there.
Beautiful play by Armstrong to keep that one up. Kamenar almost trying to gift a free kill right there to Kuczynski, but Kuczynski just kind of blows that one. Cougars will take full advantage after that. Cougar bench making sure Kuczynski hearing it after that one. You know he's going to want to come right back at him though. Johnson with a good swing right there. Johnson leading the team in total attempts as well on the day, up to 28. He's also got 7 kills to his name. Davis Troller trying to make a tool right there. Keeps the possession going though. Big swing right there from Armstrong. Just flying out of nowhere, looking like Superman on that one. I mean, he looked like he wasn't even a part of the play at all, and then out of nowhere just lets out a huge swing. A little poor reception right there, some awkwardness.
Yeah, last point. Armstrong took off from the 10-foot line and struck the ball at about probably 3 feet away from the net. He got up on that one.
Good swing right there by Godzowski. Cougars really starting to feel themselves right now. They're really letting off those A swings, meeting the ball at the apex. They're doing everything right now. Here comes Puchinski doing his thing right there. Strong swing. Schultz doing anything he can to keep it in. Puchinski with another kill right there, playing it right off the blockers. Wow, beautiful play by Schultz to keep that one up. Good swing right there by Godzowski.
Yeah, Godzowski had a little bit of a slow start in the first set, but they're starting to give him a lot of attempts, and he's starting to capitalize with a lot of them as well.
Absolutely. Starting to get a lot more comfortable as well. Cameron Arles try to set up Armstrong. Beautiful set right there from Anderson. Puchinski will take it right there. Adding to his day, that's his 10th kill of the day.
After that error, he's had 3 kills since then, and he's starting to really feel himself.
Zhang putting on a good swing right there. Mosher takes it. Cardenas set, no. Cougars commanding that 4-point lead and been kind of in that spot the whole set. Johnson will try to add to it. Unfortunately, that's just going to be just left. Muskie's back to within 3 now, 13-10. It's going to be Donahue. Poor reception for Kamenar, but Muskie's unable to make him pay. And on the other end, Alex Ford lets off a big swing right there.
Really good job recovering right there by Mosher. He was up on a ball in the net and was able to come down and put together a really nice set for Ford.
Armstrong puts that one into the net. Zhang a little bit too much on that one. Ford up and over. A little bit of a misplay right there between some of those Muskies. Zhang looks to be a little bit shaken up right there. Shooing the trainer away after that one, saying he's all good, no worries. So naturally we play on. Cougars up 16-11. Kind of similar story to last set, but it's opposing teams now as Cougars have kind of been in control for most of this set. Got it jumped out early and never really looked back. Cougars now up 17-11.
Cougars putting on a lot of pressure this set, and the Muskies are kind of caving into it and making a lot more errors than they have in the first two sets.
Anderson setting up Weinrich. Armstrong putting that one right on the net. And Kamenar getting up and over the blockers. Anderson setting up Davis Troller. Unable to keep that one in play. Cougars taking a commanding 8-point lead up 19-11. That's going to force the Muskies to burn their first timeout. They're going to take a timeout. We're also going to take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars commanding an 8-point lead in set 3 here. Muskie's going to try to find a way back into it, but it's been Cougars all set long since it was 5-5.
Cougars really starting to heat up here. They're on a 6-0 scoring run and continuing with Ford at the serve line.
Yeah, Fords look very comfortable on this run. Mixing speeds. Weinrich trying to go for a beautiful one right there. Davis Troller spotting up very nicely. Caught Ford just running the wrong way, just a tad right there, and that's all you need to get a free point. Weinrich's going to need to go on just a little bit of a run right here. He wants to put the Muskies back in it. But that's not quite going to do it. That one goes right into the net. Cougars back up with up 9, 21-12. Anderson setting up Zhang. That one misplayed most definitely. Way out of there. Fresh from the barrel, Luke Schultz grabbing that towel from the scorer's table. Roche are trying to send Cougars into set 4 after a comfortable set 3. Anderson setting up Zhang. Cardenas to Johnson. Another good swing right there for Johnson.
You don't see the most powerful swings out of Johnson, but he's been really good tonight, finding those spots, getting those kills when he needs them.
Yeah, absolutely. Stat sheet isn't going to show how hard you hit the ball. It really just shows who wins the points. So.
Absolutely.
Muskies win that one, so Cougars will need a side out before they want to win this third set. That one's got a lot of juice off the ceiling right there. That'll be enough to give the Cougars their 24th point of the set. Cougars up 11-24 to 13. It'll be Tristan Kamenar to try and win it here. Anderson setting up. Puchinski reaching over on that one. A little bit of confusion on this point. The up ref's claiming it went off the ladder, I believe. Everyone kind of in shock. You kind of hear a pin drop in Geisman right there. Everyone trying to hear the explanation from the up ref. The immediate reaction was, that just doesn't sound correct, but it doesn't matter too much considering the Cougars are up 10 right now. Cardenas setting up Johnson, and that's going to be all in this set 3. Cougars in controlling, dominant fashion win this one 25-14. The Cougars went up 6-5 early on and never looked back from that one. There will be a 3-minute break in between these sets. We'll be right back here on the Cougar Sports Network after that's all up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Concordia Chicago up 2-1. As the Cougars won in dominant fashion that set 3, won 25-14. Lakeland in similar fashion after losing set 1 comes out strong in set 2 up 1-0. Good swing by Godzowski right there. Johnson goes right at him right there, and he'll pick up the point. Tie things back up at 1 apiece. Game day crew and the officials making sure Jim's all safe and good to go, and it is. So Godzowski will serve it away. Weinrich with a poor reception on that one. That one goes off the pin.
Yeah, Cougars looking to continue that momentum they gained in the third set and used it in the fourth set to try and jump out to an early lead.
Absolutely. If you're the Cougars, you want to end it right now. You do not want to go to set 5. Anything can happen over there. Let's just take care of business right now, handle it, and we're on about our day.
On the other side, the Muskies are looking to leave everything they have on the court and force the fifth set because, as you said, anything can happen in a fifth set.
Absolutely. Poor swing right there for the Cougars. Kuchinski to serve it away. Cardenas on that reception. Motion trying to set up Ford. Ford never really got the angle quite right on that one. Kuchinski puts that one right into the net.
Freshman setter Grayson Arn in for the serve.
Setting up Zhang, excuse me. Schultz. Beautiful play from Kamenar. It's going to be a free ball from Cardenas. Anderson setting up Davis Trawler. And nothing the Cougars can do on that one. Just kind of a little bit too spread out right there. And Arnold check out after that one. That one's bombed away right there. Armstrong looking to continue his strong day. Won't be at that serve though. That one's kind of boomed out of play, missed by about 15 feet or so. Zhang misses that one a little bit, but it's in play. Beautiful dump right there from Mosher. You can tell he was looking for that one earlier on previous sets, but Muskies were kind of all over that one previously. Not this time, though. Ford puts that one into the net. That'll put the Muskies up 7-5.
This is where we kind of see the Cougars with the service errors. When they start to happen, they start to pile up really quickly. So the Cougars need to look to slow it down and just put the serve in play and give themselves a chance to play a nice rally.
Absolutely. Trying to go for a tap right there's Kamenar, but Muskies are ready for it. Cardenas setting up Johnson from the back row. Good swing right there for Puchinski. Finally able to end that rally. Both sides look pretty under control throughout. Weinrich sends that one over. Mosher setting up Johnson. Going for a little tapper right there was Weinrich. Free ball coming from Armstrong. Anderson setting up Donahue. Donahue getting in on the mix right there. Haven't seen too much from him.
The Muskie bench loving that one right there. Some great energy over there.
Kamenar yanking that one, unfortunately, and Cougars are going to take a timeout as they're doubled right now, down 10-5. While they take a break, we're going to do something similar. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. You can catch it all on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Lakeland in commanding spot right now in this set. But the Cougars come out of that timeout very strong as you get a swing off from Gazowski.
Yeah, Mosher able to draw the block right there and left a very open lane for Gajowski.
That one's denied at the net right there. Trying to set up Zhang. Cardenas putting that one right on the net. There's a back row swing from Weinrich. Mosher setting up Armstrong from the back row. Anderson putting that one right on the net for Puchinski. There's nothing they can do about that one. Puchinski and Schultz almost certain that there was a touch on the Cougars' side, but they're not going to get it. Coach Rushmore of Lakeland trying to ask that up ref if maybe they got another look on that one, but she did not, so they're going to play on. Johnson putting that one in the net, but they're going to say it's blocked. Pivotal point right there that the Muskies were able to regain possession. It's going to be Donahue. Up and over. Good swing from Johnson. Couple feet go at it. And then more bodies hit the floor on the Muskie side.
Cougars looking to claw back in this one here.
Yeah, absolutely. Another great opportunity for the Cougars right there. Kamenar just gets 5-hold on that one. Caught a little bit flat-footed. Not able to get that platform out in front of him. That's going to put Muskies back up 4. Good swing from Anderson on that serve. Johnson a little awkward on that swing, but it doesn't make too big of a difference. Anderson setting up Zhang. That one's out of play. Another costly error for Zhang right there.
Cougars have done a really good job on kind of their scrambles tonight. They've been able to keep points alive, and they result in musky errors, which gives them a really good chance.
Mosher setting up Johnson yet again. Getting the kill right there.
With that kill, Tate Johnson has now doubled his season total on kills. Came into the night with 14 and already has 14 on the night.
Definitely a productive day so far for Johnson. I'm sure he'd love to add a win to that tally for today. Mosher setting up Armstrong. Chinsky hits the floor. Weiner trying to find the open spot. Cougars are going to pick up that much needed point right there. Brings them to within 2. Coach Manson's going to do something similar to when Johnson's spot comes up in the service line. It's going to be Grayson Arn checking in for that serve. Looking to spark something here, bringing a player off the bench. Lakeland doing something similar, bringing someone off the bench. It's going to be Connor Lewis. Mosher to Armstrong. That call is overturned as it was originally, it was assumed it was bombed away, but they're going to, that line judge had a touch right there. Armstrong will look to serve it away. Good swing right there by Donahue. Donahue going back to it again, and that one's wide open for the kill. Mosher setting up Armstrong. That one's way out of play right there. Muskie's up 16-12 right here. It's going to be Zhang serving it away. Mosher setting up Ford. Kamenar going for a tapper. Anderson over to Weinrich, finding another big spot right there. Muskie's now up 5. Mosher to Johnson. That one's denied. A little self-defense right there for Johnson. And then Anderson going down for the dunk. A little bit of March Madness right there. Timeout taken. Obviously an interesting spot here at Elliott. Muskie's up 18-12. They really have just had the answer at all times during this set. When in doubt, they found a way to kind of bounce back after struggling in the prior set. That's kind of been the memo so far today for both teams. Obviously, Muskie's in a good spot right now. What do the Muskies need to do to make sure that they close this one out and not only get momentum, but make the Cougars feel a little bit uncomfortable going into that 5th set.
Yeah, they just need to stay on the attack. So far this set, we've seen them getting off some really good swings, and the Cougars haven't really had an answer for it. They're hitting spots very well, and if they can continue to do that, they'll win this set handily and give themselves a really good chance going into the 5th set.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the main things for me on that, when looking at Lakeland, is just limit the mistakes, honestly. I mean, obviously, that's much easier said than done, but you look at their top 2 killers right now with Puchinski and Zhang. They got a combined 24 kills on the day, but they also have 16 errors between the two of them, just making a lot of mistakes overall, sometimes doing a little bit more than they need to, so they can kind of cut those down, especially between the two of them. They're going to be in a good spot. Setting up Puchinski. That one's denied right there. Cougars trying to find a way back into this one, trailing by 5. It's going to be Ford. Mosher putting it right on the net for Kamenar. Good touch by Weinrich. And Gadzowski just kind of struggles on that one. Lakeland will pick up the point, now up 19-13. Weinrich with that topper. Good swing by Gadzowski, so quickly making up for the mistake he made last point. Putting them back with the rock. It's going to be Eli Mosher looking to go on a little bit of a run now. Cougars down 5, down 19-14. Misplayed right there by Johnson. Looked like he thought there might have been a touch, but no call right there, so. Donahue puts that one in. Mosher setting up Kamenar. He'll take the point right there.
Yeah, Lakeland holding on to somewhat substantial lead here, but they just got to look to find that one play that can really just be the dagger for the set.
Absolutely. It's kind of an interesting vibe right now in Geisman at the moment. Lakeland takes a timeout. Right now, it kind of feels like there's just a natural assumption that Lakeland's got this set won, and it really is all about what's going to happen in set 5. They're just going to force us to play out these last points before we move on. But I don't know if it's all of a guarantee right now. Cougars was in 4. They forced the Muskies to burn a timeout. I mean, I'm not going to say it's anybody's set at the moment, but it's not quite over yet. So we'll see what these two teams are able to craft up during these timeouts. Elliot, right now, if you're one of those players on the court, what's the headspace right now if you're a Cougar? Because naturally you have to focus on the present right now. So kind of what's the headspace right now? Down 4, kind of trying to find a way to win this 4th set and not even have to deal with that set 5.
Yeah, I mean, you're up 2-1. Just play free. I mean, you have nothing to lose with this set. I would say just go out there, give it everything you got, and try and bring home the victory in set 4. Don't let it come down to a 5th set.
That's the main message right there. Play loose. Don't play conservative. Just play your game. Stay smooth out there. There's going to be other opportunities to feel the pressure, and that'll be in set 5. Right now, you don't have to worry about any of that. Just have some fun, put a smile on the face, and go at it for these last few points of set 4. Massive swing right there from Davis Troller. I mean, nothing Mosher could even do on that one. Puts the Muskies back up 5. And it'll be Chase Anderson. Mosher setting up Armstrong. That one's a beautiful swing right off the top of the blockers. It'll be Gudzowski. That one's out of play. Cougars kind of starting to struggle with the service errors for how good they were in the first set and a half. I mean, they're really kind of piling them on between this third and fourth set now. Missed time jump right there for Armstrong. Just not really on the same page on that one. Now with the Cougars down 6 in this set. Muskies only needing 2. Fate looks certain, but nothing's guaranteed. Cougars will pick up the point on that one. Still chasing 5. Grayson Arnold check in as he has done so the last 3 rotations. He's going to take over the duties of Johnson's serves. So he's going to have to go on a little bit of a run as well. Setting up Jean. And that one's wide open for the taking. Yeah, what's been making this Muskie offense so successful is when the Cougars are so focused on one or two of the attackers in the front, they can't focus on all 3. When you have 3 strong hitters, it's just making it really hard. So when you see Davis Troller showing out, those are the spots where they've been performing. Davis Troller will check back in. It'll be Tyrese Armstrong for the Cougars. Gonna have to go on some sort of rally here. As that one goes off the ceiling after going off Schultz. Mosher setting up Kamenar. Jean getting up there, trying to go across the court. Trying to get a little too cute right there.
Yeah, no one you'd rather want here at the line for the serve other than Armstrong. Second in team in service aces. He has kept the errors to a minimum, so if you want to make a run, he's the right guy for it.
Absolutely. I mean, you kind of mentioned that you need to go on a run right now. When you're Armstrong at the net, or at the line, excuse me, is it difficult to not think about the mission and the duty that you have in front of you, where you got to put together 4 good serves as well as winning all those other points as well? What's kind of the headspace if you're Armstrong?
I think if you're Armstrong, you just need to be in the mindset that take it one serve at a time. You know, you can't get all 4 points back with one serve, so take each serve at its own and just put together a good point and take it one step at a time.
Absolutely. You kind of go back to what you were saying earlier. Just play loose, play free, and the rest will take care of itself. Muskies and Cougars break their respective huddles. You can definitely see the loose vibes amongst the Muskies. Cougars look perhaps a little preoccupied on thinking of the future, as Cougars will lose this set 4, 25-20. So a productive timeout for the Muskies. And with that, it's going to bring the captains for the coin toss while they handle all that business. We're going to take a break here as well. Don't go anywhere. See the rubber match. You can catch it all here on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. It all comes down to this, set number 5 to decide the rubber match. It's been a back and forth contest all day long. Lakeland's got the momentum as they won set 4. Neither team has won back-to-back sets. And a good sign right there for the Cougars as they win point number 1.
Yeah, they went to Johnson right there, and that brings his tally up to 16 for kills on the day.
Big swing right there for Davis Troller, excuse me. Anderson up and over. Mosher setting up Armstrong. Armstrong throwing it over there to Schultz. Good swing right there. Armstrong, beautiful swing right there. Right on the edge.
Yeah, Armstrong found the perfect spot on that one. Shot it right down the line. Hung onto that back corner for the point.
Yeah, nothing Weinrich can do with that one, unfortunately. And Godzowski looking to go on a little bit of a run right here. Not quite what he's looking for right there. A lot of juice on that one. Just feels like two different vibes right now. Lakeland playing just a lot looser overall. That's a costly mistake right there. You know, in set 5, it really feels like all the mistakes, all the errors really get put under the magnifying glass right now. Every point just feels so big, and when you give away freebies, it can be a dagger. That's an ace right there for Arm. Line official confused everybody at first, throwing the flag up and then slamming it home. I think the Muskies thought they were calling that one out at first.
Muskie coach talking to the down ref right now. Nothing comes of it.
That one's poor reception right there. Good swing right there from Kamenar. Cougars thought for sure that there was a touch on that one. They will not be gifted that one, so that being said, it's going to be Lakeland's serve. Checking back in, it's going to be Connor Lewis. They're going to ask him to go on a little bit of a run right here. Armstrong, big swing right there. Nothing else Anderson can do but play a little bit of self-defense right there.
Yeah, Armstrong rising above the block right there. Absolutely nothing can be done.
Yeah, if Anderson didn't get his hands up right there, he might have been looking at a new nose job. Good serve from Armstrong, excuse me. Mosher setting up Kamenar. Weiner tapper over. Good swing from Ford. Cougars are starting to feel it a little bit right now. Now up 6-3. Smart decision right there from Rushmer. Coach Rushmer will take his timeout for the Muskies. We're going to do something similar. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars up 6-3 in this winner-take-all set 5. It's going to be Armstrong sending it away. Good swing right there. It's going to be a free ball from Mosher. Schultz to Anderson. Good swing right there. That's Donahue all over it.
Yeah, this fifth set's kind of just been what the whole game has been like up to this far. There's a lot of back and forth, and it just comes down to who wants it the most and who's going to grab it.
Mosher setting up Kamenar. Anderson over to Weinrich. That one's denied. Donahue again. Big swing right there. You haven't heard his name called too often today, but when you have, it's been all good things. That's going to be his 9th kill of the contest. Mosher trying to set up Anderson. Excuse me, Ford. Good swing by Ford. Zhang jumps in front of that one, unable to get anything on it. That's going to put the Cougars back up 2. It's going to be Alex Ford. Alex Ford, part of that big run that the Cougars had in that set 3. He was a product of a long, healthy run at the service line. No better time for the Cougars to go on a run. Anderson setting up Weinrich. Mosher to Kamenar. That one's out of play. Schultz able to stay out of the way of that one. It's going to be the senior Eli Weinrich. Looking to get the fellas going a little bit here. Muskie's down 6-7. That one's into the net right there. Cougars picking up that point. So with that being said, they'll naturally switch sides. Cougars up 8-6 now in set 5. Halfway there through this marathon of a match these two have played. Beautiful swing, somehow keeping it up. Zhang to Anderson. Donahue sends that one out of play.
Cougars with a 9-6 lead now. Really, we've got to look to put the dagger in them right here.
Absolutely. Anderson trying to set up Puchinski, and he will. Beautiful swing right there. Much needed point for the Muskies to find a way to stay in the contest. They could not afford to go down 4. Able to cut it back to 2. Keeps them in it. It's going to be Donahue right now. And a costly mistake right there. That puts the Cougars back up 3, 10-7.
It's the Muskies' 3rd service error of this 5th set, and very unfortunate timing for all those service errors.
Absolutely. Armstrong, good swing. Anderson trying to set up Weinrich. Mosher setting up Kamenar, but Kamenar just a little too soft right there, just a touch. But that's all it takes for the Muskies to pick it up. Muskies back within 2. Anderson. Mosher setting up Armstrong, kill shot. Wow, what a swing right there. Muskies were nowhere close to that one. With that being said, in comes, he'll do Damasino, serve it away. Popped up for Zhang. A costly swing mistake right there. Lakeland's going to take a much needed timeout right here. with the Cougars up 12-8, putting them in a very, very prime spot to find a way to win this much-needed conference game right here. Elliot, right now, if you're the Cougars, how do you find a way to close out set 5 right here, send the fans home happy?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, all the pressure is on the Muskies. Must-win game, currently chasing 4, so just continue to put the pressure on them. Make good serves, get good swings off, and see how they react to the pressure.
Absolutely. It's been a huge game of momentum all day long. I mean, back and forth, back and forth. Whoever's been able to kind of grip any amount of momentum, it's been huge. And right now, the Cougars have all of it in their palm of their hand. So we'll see if they can kind of handle that momentum right now. Damasino. Anderson sets up. Big swing right there for Davis Troller. They'll check out. Gonzowski will check right back in after that. At this point, every point is a must-win for the Muskies. Mosher setting up Armstrong. That one's painted right on the edge right there.
Mosher's loving Armstrong in this 5th set here, and rightfully so, because it seems as though every time he gets a swing off, he is above the block, and that makes it really hard to get a good dig on it.
Absolutely. Setting up Zhang. Mosher setting up Armstrong again. Zhang denied at the net. Cougars feeling themselves now up 14-9. Backs truly against the wall right here for the Muskies. It's going to be Grayson Arn try and win it all for the Cougars right here. Anderson setting up Weinrich. Kamenar will control it. Mosher setting up Armstrong. A little tapper, not going to get it done. Anderson going to Puchinski, and that one's out of play. With that costly swing right there, that's going to give the Cougars the win in a much, much needed conference win. Cougars win on the home turf. Not exactly dominant fashion, as it was back and forth all day long. Cougars were able to scoop sets 1, 3, and 5, and the Muskies won sets 2 and 4. With that win, the Cougars extend that win streak over the Muskies to 6 in a row. I mean, the Cougars have been so strong against the Muskies throughout this run. We'll take a look at some of the top performers throughout today. It was an all-around team effort for the Cougars, but when taking a little look at it, Eli Mosher led that team in assists with 43. On the other side, Chase Anderson with 42, so right behind him. Taking a look at those kills leaders, Tate Johnson led the game with 16, with Colin Puchinski at 14, and Tyrese Armstrong at 13. He had a very strong day overall. I mean, and then you take a look at the digs. It was Eli Mosher and Michael Cardenas for the Cougars at 22 and 21. And then the Lakeland's libero, Luke Schultz at 19. Closing remarks here, Elliot. What do you kind of think for the Cougars overall today? What does this kind of supply as far as going forward in these final 2 weeks of the season?
Yeah, you know, we're down to the stretch here. This is a really good win for the Cougars to try and build momentum. They need to win at least a few. They need to win at least a few of their last matches here if they want to have a chance of making the conference tournament. So building that momentum before you got to go play MSOE and Aurora, the number 1, the number 2 team in the NAC, is at the utmost of importance. And they were able to capture that momentum, and hopefully they can ride it into the coming games.
Absolutely. Much needed win right here, putting them into a spot that kind of gives them a chance. That's all they're hoping for right now is an opportunity, and that's what they got right in front of them. They have a chance to go and dominate these final 2 weeks right now. It's not going to be easy, but it is an opportunity that they have. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere as we're going to have a post-game interview with Tate Johnson, that kills leader for the Cougars. You can catch it all here on the Cougar Sports Network. What's going on, Cougar fans? I'm Dave Diamond here, accompanied by today's Kills leader, Tate Johnson. How's it going?
It's good.
You guys had a big-time win here at home against the Lakeland Muskies. You guys won in 5 sets, back-and-forth game all day long. Kind of give me the rundown about what you guys were expecting coming into today, and then kind of the emotions overall that you guys experienced.
Well, we were kind of expecting them to either, really just rip every ball at us, and if it wasn't there, just every tip. That's about it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we'll kind of talk about you for a little bit right now. Very strong day overall. Season high in kills, got up to 16 on the day. What is it between last match against CU Dub as well? Kind of been finding your groove a little bit. How have you been feeling overall about this?
I've been feeling pretty good, yeah. The kills, got to thank Eli for giving me 49 balls. Be able to have that trust in me to get a kill.
Absolutely. Ton of opportunities for you today. And then kind of taking a look at a little bit today as well. Obviously a pretty strong team in Lakeland. They've had a little bit of struggles today, a little chippy as well. Does that throw you guys off your game at all, or are you guys able to kind of keep pushing and it doesn't really affect you at all?
I'm not going to lie. It kind of helps us a little bit because we get more fired up off of that. So, it gets easier to, score and shit.
Absolutely. Well, playing on those emotions for you guys has been kind of a big deal for you guys all year long. Looking ahead, you guys got a little bit of a gauntlet coming up between the 1 and 2 seeds in Aurora on Wednesday, and then you're going to be at MSOE as well. What's kind of the focus for you guys going into those games? So they're 2 very important games that you want to walk away with a win with, but also playing really strong teams between the 2 of them. They've only lost 1 game. What's kind of the message in the locker room for those games?
Kind of just clean up on errors, and that's really it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have been pretty smooth at that all day. Those first 2 sets, only a handful of service errors, so kind of keep that up, and I think you guys will be in a really good spot against Aurora and MSOE.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me, Tate.
Thank you.
Of course, yeah, good luck the rest of the way.
All right. Thank you.
For any more information on men's volleyball, head to cucougars.com. I'm Dave Dimling signing off. As always, roll Cougs.
Much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.